Welcome everybody to today's lesson. We're going to be talking about this motorcycle rider that kicked in a windshield. And I'm going to tell you guys right now, I never say this, but I don't think this guy should be riding. So right off the bat, I just want to say thank you to my patrons and my YouTube members. If it wasn't for you, I wouldn't be able to do this video specifically because this video is going to get copyright claim from Viral Hog. They own the rights and everything, but I think this is just a really good opportunity to talk to you guys about what happened and why we shouldn't be riding like this. This is a behavioral issue. If you notice, he was getting boots off his bike, and that's probably because of some type of riding behavior that got him in trouble. There's a reason why we have these laws, and you shouldn't be speeding, you shouldn't be doing all these different things, and quite possibly he got in trouble for doing these things. So that's going to kind of give me an idea of how he rides, and you start thinking about that, guys. If you start riding like this, start thinking that, maybe you're getting a lot of close calls yourself, and maybe your friends, if they're riding like this, they're getting a lot of close calls, you're going to be riding with them. Peer pressure, ego, all that. So anyways, he's super excited to get his bike back. We have a green light. We're going through a blind turn right here. There's going to be a car that's going to pull out in front of him. It's going to be this car right here. So he's going to sideswipe it. It's an angular incident where you see how he kind of went off the side. It's not necessarily a T-bone. And then he's going to smash this windshield. Seriously. Guys, we're going to talk about this and why you shouldn't be doing that. I think it's pretty obvious, but once again, thank you to my patrons. Thank you to everybody so much. Look, you can even see that he doesn't have the proper gear. He has a sock over his shoe, doesn't mess up his shoe. So it's the whole idea of being a rider, not necessarily riding safely and using it as a mode of transportation. It's more so of like an ego trip type thing. But yeah, we're going to go over the accident thing itself, and we're going to go over some of the rider behavior parts where I don't think you guys should be doing this, because if you do, you're going to kill yourself and you should be off the road. Okay, let's jump into that. So we're going to skip this portion where he's got the boots, but it's a good idea to start understanding, hey, you know what, if your buddy or you are starting to really get in trouble with the law when it comes to speeding or parking or doing different things, remember, you're doing it to show off. Like, let's say he got the boots here because he parked his bike. That's necessarily not a bad thing, like park your bike and you get in trouble, but I have a feeling that he's doing this because he wants everyone to look at his bike. So if you start to do stuff like that and it's not necessarily safe, your bike could get easily stolen if it's out in the open like this, not with the boots, but if you're parking the bike. So start thinking in that aspect. Let's go ahead and jump to the part where he actually crashed though. So we have the riding aspect right here. It's downtown, very high traffic, very congested, a lot of blind areas. So the intersections are really blind because of the trees. So if you kind of notice, it's going to be pretty hard to pick out anything to the right or even to the left because of the trees. One thing that you can do to really help you out, let's say we're looking at the static image right now. Let's say that there's something moving though a little bit to the left. That's going to grab your attention to where you're looking to the left, and that's going to make it to where you see the hazard. So any movement is a hazard, especially if it's like a car or pedestrian, bicyclist, all these different things. We're going to move on to this next portion. So it's a red light. He's stopping. He's doing fine here. Nice slow speed takeoff. We have those trams and the tracks and everything. Kind of watch out for those. Go over them nice and straight. But we have a blind turn coming up over here. He actually did pretty good. He was actually looking for some hazards, and he went around the manhole. So the manhole cover can be a little bit slick. So if you're accelerating over a manhole cover or anything like that, it could possibly lose traction to the front or rear tire. So that was actually a pretty good thing. So I'm going to go ahead and pick out some good things here. So he's going to go around the manhole cover and then go on with his commute back home. Remember, he just got the bike. He's not warmed up. The bike's probably not warmed up. The tires are probably not warmed up. So right here, this right here scares me when I'm riding. I have no escape path to the left. I have a vehicle to my right. I'm in their blind spot too. There's a bad line of sight around this corner. So right here, this gives me that anxiety, that scared feeling to where I need to slow down. My first reaction whenever I get like that little pit in my stomach when I'm riding, and that's because, there's danger. Your body recognizes danger. What I like to do here is slow down. That way I give more time to react, search, evaluate, execute. It allows me to do some things that I couldn't do if I was going at a high rate of speed. So we're going to move forward to this. You still can't see. There's a lot of vehicles turning left. It's a one-way street to the left and then one-way street going straight. Now this driver should not be turning left from the outside lane. They should be in this lane right here. But remember, we're in traffic. It's really highly congested. There's going to be car drivers doing some crazy things because they need to get where they need to go. And since it's a one-way street, they don't want to go all the way to the next block, turn around, do a three-point turn, all these different things. So you have to start realizing, hey, there's people going to be making some weird decisions out in congestion, especially with one-way streets, and especially especially when they have bad visibility. So right now this driver probably doesn't have good visibility, and this motorcycle rider had some decent visibility when it comes to the hazard that could be approaching. So right about here is when we can start seeing that vehicle. Now this vehicle, we can't tell if it's going to turn left, turn right. It can't turn right because of the one-way street, but it's not going to turn left, and that's going to be one of those things that we need to kind of focus on. So about right here, when the vehicle is slowing down, there's a reason why it's slowing down. It's not going to go straight. If it was going to slow down, it's going to turn left, turn right, stop. If it wants to go straight, it's going to maintain its speed, possibly slow down if there's a pedestrian and any type of hazard that the other car driver might be having. But more than likely, since it's slowing down and you see the tires and see the body of the car right now, it's wanting to turn left. So at this moment, we should, as motorcycle riders, should be focused on, hey, this is a hazard. We're doing our search. We saw the vehicle. We're evaluating whether it is a hazard or not. And now we have to start thinking, okay, well, do we have to do an evasive maneuver? Do we have to apply the brakes? Do we have to swerve? Do we have to roll off the throttle just to give him that space cushion? What is it we have to do? And this motorcycle rider is not doing that. He's going about 30 miles an hour. It's 29 miles an hour right here. And he's just super excited, super ego, everything, because he just got his bike. And then who knows how his behavior is while he's on the bike before this video. As you can tell, he got the boots on the bikes. He got in trouble. He had to pay a fine. Now, everyone makes mistakes. Maybe it was just a simple mistake, but who knows? I'm going to go ahead and make an assumption because this is going to be a learning lesson for everybody. You know, it's a behavioral issue that I think is going to be the problem here, especially when you see what happens afterwards. So right here, we should be applying the brakes, straightening up the bike and applying the brakes. You see that right now he's starting to apply the brakes. You see his fingers reach for those front brakes. And really, it's not going to be too much. You can't do anything. You really can't do anything at this point. You don't have enough space cushion. So apply the brakes just a little bit, and then quite possibly swerve to the right. He's going to, in the original video, he honks the horn, revs bombs, all these different things, and then he starts to apply the brakes. So beforehand, he was rev bombing and all that stuff. Once again, this video is going to be copyright claim from Viral Hog, so if you'd like to support the channel, the simplest way is just to hit that subscribe button. If you want to support it monetarily and help bring apart a whole new e-course that I'm developing, then please join Patreon. It's only $2 a month. You get a lot of behind the scenes, and you get to help me develop an e-course for all new riders. So we're going to move into this, and then that's when we start to apply the brakes. Okay, so you see how it kind of jumped forward. He applied the brakes. Now he's leaning forward because there's a lot of weight towards that front tire. And it didn't wash out. We've watched plenty of videos where that front tire just kind of slips out from underneath. Well, he actually was straight, and then he kept the handlebar straight. A lot of people, when they wash out, they apply too much front brake, and just that little motion of the tire is going to cause it to wash out to the left or wash out to the right. So he's going to hit the vehicle, and he's actually going to get on top. So that's going to be a lot of force. He went up and over. I talk about that with the mechanism of injury of a lot of accidents. You can go down and under or up and over. He went up and over, and he actually did he did fine. He didn't hit his legs on the handlebars or anything like that, so he got lucky with the physics. So at this point, I've watched the full video, and that's how I know this video is going to get copyright claimed, because I've done this during my live streams. He actually goes back, and this lady was on her phone, and he actually made a huge point. His camera caught a frame of her putting the phone away. She's putting the phone away. She's doing all this stuff. She's quite possibly looking for directions. She's lost. And, you know, a lot of times, you know, yeah, they made a mistake, but people make mistakes all the time, okay? And if I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt of, you know, it was a mistake of parking his bike and he got, you know, the boot, and now I'm going to make assumptions because, you know, it's just going to help out everybody. But just because a car driver has their phone out and they're possibly looking for directions, they're possibly doing all that stuff, it's not that big of a deal. So we just have to focus on what we do and how we ride and how we can mitigate those risks, because we're never going to change that for everybody. This is the part where I don't think you should be doing this, okay? Do not hit a windshield like this. The full video actually shows that he's in front of a police station, like a substation, and there's officers, there's cameras, there's all these different things to where, you know, you have witnesses, you have people, you have things, you have everything that's needed. Before this hitting the windshield portion, he was probably not at fault. This lady's going to get the full ticket. He's not going to get the full ticket. Or he's going to be perfectly fine. Insurance is going to hopefully cover his stuff if he has insurance. But now he just made it worse. He escalated the problem. His ego. I mean, I understand the anger, the fight or flight system. You know, you just cannot do that. You really cannot do that. Now he's going to be in a position where he has to pay for this. He's going to have to pay for all these different things. The insurance is going to fight him now. Police, he can have aggravated assault, a bunch of different things. There's a huge video, Viral Hog, the video I'm taking this from is not going to show the full ending. His buddies came to pick up his bike, and he helped him out, but his adrenaline rush, he actually dropped his adrenaline pretty high or pretty low, and then he starts to cry. So that's the emotional dump, and I feel for him. It sucks, I've had that feeling myself, but you cannot be doing this, okay, guys? Do not do this. We're gonna move forward just a little bit, and you're gonna notice that he's just wearing regular clothes. He's got ripped jeans, he's got shoes, and what did I say about having motorcycle boots and everything is that they're going to fly off during a crash. I mean, these specific shoes are going to fly off in a crash. Motorcycle boots will stay on your feet because they're designed to do that, and I purposely get ones that are high calf because there's no way that thing's going to fly off. There really isn't. But this is the situation where you lose your protection, so you have that initial impact, your leg gets launched this way, so then the shoe flies off, the kinetic forces and everything. And then now, if you start to tumble even more, you have no protection on your body for your foot, basically. So what we're having here is he wants to have regular shoes, but he wants to keep them nice and clean. So he puts a sock over the shift lever portion. So now he's not going to get that shift lever blackness stuff all over your shoes. So that's kind of what he's doing. So if you start thinking, well, how's his behavior? Is he focused on safety? Is he focused on looking for hazards? Or is he just focused on looking good on the bike? That is where you start to run into problems, is if somebody's just there to look good on the bike, you're not focused on what's really important, because there's a good chance you're going to die, you're going to get in an accident, you're going to get severely injured, you're going to hurt somebody else. Ego plays a role, especially if you're in a group ride. So, I mean, there's all these different things, so wear your full gear. So with that said, I hope you guys ride safe, be safe, and check out these other videos. We have a lot of cool stuff on this channel, and once again, like I said, subscribe or become a patron. So click the link in the description for motorcycleridingtips.com. That is going to give you a bunch of information. You get to join the Discord for free. You also have an ebook that is half off. It's at $5 right now. So check it out. I'll see you guys later.